Good evening and welcome to Friday Night Thunder. Tonight we bring you coverage from Talladega. It's season 3, race 10, and things are really beginning to heat up. I'm your host, Snach, and with me I've got my partner in crime, Smokin' Joe. Welcome, Joe, to the broadcast.
Welcome to Talladega, some super speedway racing here tonight. A little bit different concept to the season schedule this time around, with the super speedways rounding out the regular season instead of starting it off this time around. So expect some chaos here to close out the regular season points battles.
Absolutely. It's a beautiful day for racing. 87-degree air temp. Not a super slick track surface there at 114 degrees. I think these ARCA cars are up for the challenge. It's going to be a blast tonight. We go plate racing. And Joe, we've had a recent update to the ARCA car itself in terms of the contact model. So I don't think they're going to be handing out as many incident points like it was Halloween from the last time we went plate racing.
Yeah, we'll see in comparison, especially to last season. I do think it will be better. It seems the netcode's gotten somewhat better as well, so some improvements have been made in the long interim to the last super speedway race.
Yeah, so when you talk about Talladega, it's just an incredible experience here in Alabama. As you can see, the regular season is starting to wind down before we hit that chase. It'll be just 3 races left, including tonight. You know, it's 2 out of 3 super speedways to finish out the regular season with a little cookie cutter at Homestead wedged in between. So it's the ultimate who's who, anybody's guess, anything can happen moment going on here as that points battle really tightens up before we set the field for that aforementioned chase. And taking a look at things here, as you can see, our reigning champion, Kenneth Redinger, still firmly in the lead, has 22 points over Eric Gambrill, who I believe will not be in action tonight. So that's going to be a big hit for Gambrill. Justin Parham in third, looking poised to maybe pounce on that, as well as Joseph Volpus to try to maybe chip away at the points leader's reign right there. Redinger's been really the class of the field here in the regular season, defending his title precisely and with just incredible amounts of momentum. You see behind Matt Novella trying to make a march as well in 5th place. And then Jay Stinson, who's been on a charge. We saw him win at Bristol a couple weeks ago. Jay, I don't think he's making the race tonight either. I don't see him out there in the field. So that's another big hit. Steve Lewis, 9, top 10 favorite, firmly in 7th. Dalton Connor really making an impression there in 8th. And then you see Matthew Fritz. He's starting to heat things up, and he's in the top 10. And then Tommy Fox, Mr. Top 10 himself, rounds out that top 10.
The last two current chase spots are held by John Beverly and Andrew Davis. Only 12 points separate them, and 4 points behind Davis is Brandon Garand. Right now, very tight to that cut line. Some guys are going to drop out of contention here tonight, or have already. Jack Sanders not here, going to drop out of contention tonight as well. Buddy Sully is out of contention, and Sam Milliken going to drop out of contention, not being here tonight. So only David Brenner and Richard Swingle, the only other two guys below that cut line, along with Brandon, that can make up the gap to try and make the chase here with only 3 races left now.
And it looks like those two are in the field tonight, so they're keeping their chase hopes alive. It's going to take a little bit of elbow grease and a lot of hard work, but you got to be in it to win it, folks. And looks like qualifying has commenced, so we'll go ahead and take a look at Steve Lewis here on the track. Old 88 himself, Steve Lewis, they're going to try to snag him a pole. And currently, you see right there, Steve Lewis, Missouri.
Good old Missouri, as we try and get the correct
The show me
information up.
state, baby.
There we go.
Fourth on the ticker right now. So Steve Lewis currently near the top of the leaderboard. But with the super speedway race It's not so much where you start as so many strategies are at play. As you see David Brenner there, seventh place qualifying effort thus far. It's all about the survival. We've seen these super speedway deals here breed great racing, but also multiple big wrecks changing the race at a moment's notice.
Yeah, the big one, always a concern of every driver. The fast repair may help with the mitigation of that kind of stuff happening, but it's too early still to tell what's going to happen in terms of that right now. The data doing some weird stuff as expected with the way that this track counts laps. So right now you see some of the guys out there still running laps right now. Zach Panzarella, Zach Stevens, Joe Volpa's all on their first laps. I see Bolander and Owens on their out laps currently. So right now we're on with Zach, who's going to be the first one to put down a lap time out of the guys currently running hot laps.
Zach on track, the one machine, the DDI driver himself, going to go for it there. You want to kind of hug that bottom. Going below the double yellow line is not out of bounds for qualifying. However, it will be out of bounds to advance your position in the race itself. So we'll see if we have anybody dive down there to try to squeeze extra thousandths of seconds off their effort. But Panzarella going to bring it home in 11th there.
Yeah, that was his first lap. We'll come through, see what everybody else does on their first lap. Joe Volpa's going to be the next one to finish his first lap. His lap will be good enough to put him in 13th. Zach Stevens coming right behind him. He's going to go up to 6th.
He's coming. So the 13 in 13th, Zach Stevens, 6th place. See if he can improve on that.
Bolander going to be the next to put down his first hot lap.
Yeah, we saw Bolander pull it off in the O'Reilly Series Thursday night. That series still looking for a broadcast companion to it, the MRL O'Reilly Series. Andrew Bolander putting down an 18th place qualifying effort. But like we said, it's not so much about where you start. It's about the strategy, because the use of the draft, working together with others, you can get to the front if you really want to. It doesn't take very long to get there.
Yep, you can see these guys. I don't see anybody really going faster on their second lap currently. See, David Owens just went up to second on his first lap, though. So great effort from David Owens right there.
David Owens there outside P1. So David Owens with a great qualifying effort, unable to dethrone Jordan Lane. Jordan Lane with a great run there. And Andrew Bolander unable to improve. We'll see if he comes to the line, see if he can chip away at that. Really hugging that double yellow line. We'll see what happens when he crosses the line here. Oh. And wow, baby, Bolander with the pole, baby. There you go. That number 18 machine going to start at the front. We'll see if anybody here still on track can oust him. But Andrew Bolander currently with that pole.
Yeah, not even 1/1000th faster than Jordan Lane. Pretty much identical lap times. But Bolander has the advantage right now for pole. David Owens will not go faster on his second lap, so he will not improve. And we got a new pole sitter.
Oh, the series point leader and reigning champ himself, Kenneth Redinger, going to lock that pole down there, going to unseat Bolander. So Kenneth Redinger brought himself a hot rod tonight.
Oh, Swingle almost gets him.
Dingle Swingle, the Moobies man himself. Check him out in second place right there. The 97 looking pretty racy. He's definitely brought a nice piece as well. We'll see if Richard here can get the pole on his second lap, but what an amazing effort there.
Yeah, these guys are all very tight. You can look at that, 572, 581, and then two 599s. Bolander's just a little bit quicker, probably in the fourth column over Jordan Lane's for that third spot over fourth. You can just see pretty much everybody in the top 17 all within a 10th. I think I saw 18th barely outside of a 10th. If it scrolls back, that'd be...
Swingle gonna go run the apron here, try to squeeze a little bit extra out of it. We'll see if that helps.
It does not.
And it's not gonna get there.
Looking at these times, Kyle Lanat is currently on track, but he might get a lap in here.
So Lynott on the track. We'll see if the 988 machine can put down a lap time. It won't be the end of the world if he is unable to. But right now, Redinger looking in great position to be the pole sitter tonight as it stands currently.
Yeah, I don't foresee the first lap from Lynott. Looking at the time right now, I don't think he's going to be able to get it done.
So clearly it looks like the best way to get around, you want to hug that double yellow line. You don't want a lot of wheel input to scrub speed here. It's all about precision, Joe. And you can see, as evidenced by these qualifying efforts, these guys are just, it's such close proximity to their qualifying lap times to each other. It's essentially a dead heat. Pretty impressive.
Yep, Kyle Lynott did get a lap in. It was only good enough for 12th, however.
So qualifying is over, and Kenneth Redinger is going to secure the pole. The 24, their points leader, going to have that 54.572 second lap time there. Richard Swingle, an incredible qualifying effort, going to be outside row one in P2. And then in third, you have Bolander, who was the pole sitter temporarily. The 18 machine going to start inside row two. Jordan Lane outside row two. David Owens in fifth. Blake Tuggle, he's going to be making his season debut in sixth. And then Justin Parham, no stranger to top qualifying efforts or finishes, in seventh. Steve Lewis always loves plate racing. So Steve Lewis in eighth, in good starting shape. Robert Babcock making the appearance tonight, starting night. Good to see Robert out there tonight. And Zach Stevens rounds out that top 10.
Looking through the rest of the field, guys starting outside the top 10, starting at 11th, we see Chase Greer going to start alongside Kyle Lynott. Row behind them, we see David Brenner and Dylan Tibbetts. Row behind them, we see Dalton Connor and Buddy Sully. Then we see Zach Pantarella, Joe Volpus together there on row number 9. Row 10 has John Beverly and Andrew Davis. Those are the first guys actually with outside a 10th behind the pole sitter. That's how tight these times are here at Talladega.
Pretty amazing.
You see Matthew Fritz 21st and Zach Winstead 22nd. He was the last guy to put down a lap time, and he was only a tenth and a half off the pole position. Pretty incredible to see. And then we have some no qualifiers here at the back of the field. I see, looks like Nate Lesko, Matt Novella, Hunter Hall, Tommy Fox, and Brandon Garand going to round out the field. 27 cars going to be able to grid this bad boy up here today for 75 laps at Talladega.
It's a great showing, absolutely. Almost a 30-car field tonight for that super speedway racing. The plate tracks always seem to bring out the top attendance because it's so much fun, and it really can be anybody's race. It's such a mixed bag, and ultimately, you know, if you're a thrill seeker, these are the types of races that you really want to compete in.
Yeah, right now these guys getting ready to roll any second pretty much. You know, the nerves got to be pretty high here at the start of a race like this as we go through the actual pace car.
That's quite a camera angle. You know, I think maybe iRacing wants to trade in that Mustang for a more updated model. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I would assume so. You can see everybody here. It looks like everybody's gridded up, so nobody going to take the decision to start from the pits. So right now I'm excited to see how aggressive everybody's going to be off the rip. We know how these cars draft at 1.5 to 2 mile tracks, but how much have they really changed here? That's what we're going to find out today. How much has the netcode changed, and how much has the contact system changed to make the racing different at the super speedways? I do remember last season a lot of wrecks probably could have been avoided if the iRacing contact system worked a little bit better. So we'll see if the side of that's been sorted, and if the drivers could be as good as they've been for most of the season.
I do recall a race or two where a lot of these drivers reached the DQ limit there, had their black flags come out on those final laps of some of those deals. So, you know, you want to be mindful. Well, hopefully this is improved and you can do a little bit more bump drafting without getting those 4Xs like candy. Only time will tell. I know I'm really excited to see if we can get 2, 3, even 4 wide here at Talladega. It's plenty wide to get the racing going, and we'll see how the low line versus the high line works because typically, as we've seen in other series, you know, that high line can really get it going if you want to ride along the wall. Whereas the Truck Series, for example, I know how they've really changed that draft model and that package to where you really have to depend on the side draft. So very curious to see what happens. A long out lap here as we're a 2.66 mile layout, so plenty of time for us to chatter here. Pace car is off. Before we go green, Joe, what are we looking for here early?
Looking to see how hard everybody's going to push, what the urgency is going to be to get to the front. How quickly do we go 3 wide?
Absolutely. Restart zone is actually where the start finish line would be in a typical track, but it's not. The start finish line is beyond, and we're racing, boys, from Talladega. It's Friday Night Thunder. Redinger leads them on. Swingle matches the energy on the outside. Row by row by row, 2 by 2 by 2 by 2. Can't you see them go, boys and girls? We're racing here at Talladega.
Yeah, looking at this front row, you see Ken Redinger, somebody who's been winning a lot here in this series as of late. But Richard Swingle on the outside, usually very good at qualifying at these super speedways, also has a win in the BTT series here at Talladega fairly recently, just last season. So I'm looking to see if Swingle's able to get out front here early or not and take control of it. And there he goes, going to drop
early.
below. Yep, there he goes.
You saw the high line start off really good. Outside had the energy working. Jordan Lane pushed Swingle up to the front there, able to get the job done before corner entry into 3, but Redinger's having none of that. Bounces it to the outside. Matches jab for jab here as we're coming out of 4. Lap 1, so far so good. It's clean, and we see him step out there 2 wide. Whoa, Swingle below the double yellow line. Looks like a little bump gone wrong there. Squeezed him out. You got cars below the apron. They're saving it, boys. Wow, what a recovery right there as cars scatter below the leaders.
Yeah, some guys look like they got a little scrambled there, a little further back in the field. You can see him trying to get resorted back here. See,
He's clear in the 40 there. Yeah.
Yep, let's go all the way at the tail end of this. All these guys got to be careful not to completely lose the draft back here. Looks like there's a bit of a break off. Looks like Robert Babcock is at the tail end of this group. Dylan Tibbetts right now, the first car, trying to catch back up. So a bit of a split between 15th to 16th.
Yeah, I think that little second pack will be able to reel in that main pack there. You know, you just don't want to have a big one or a caution here as these guys are coming up to speed. Your tires are coming up to temp. Everybody's trying to feel out the track, feeling how the draft is going to work. You know, you kind of want to get into a rhythm here. You can't win the race on lap 1 or lap 2. This is the 75 lap main feature. So I think everybody's kind of getting the nerves settled down. And woo, we got another car going down below the apron right there. Going to let those cars go and get back behind them there. You know, it's nice that they have that paved area down there, sort of like a runaway kind of area to avoid the mishap and stay away from that chaos. But check out that 3 wide action, Joe. We're going to see a lot of that tonight.
Yeah, right now these guys trying to get a third line going. Looks like Blake Tuggle on the outside with Dylan Tibbetts trying to get a third lane started. Right now, though, Steve Lewis and Bolander battling for the race lead up front. Bolander going to lead it by a nose over Steve Lewis.
Bolander going to get credit for the lap led there. Steve Lewis going to battle on the inside there. They're not as closely packed together on the bottom as they are on that middle lane right there. You see the energy there. You see the cars forming the line a little bit better. That's going to carry the momentum, and Bolander's going to take advantage of it with that push from the 47, helping him all the way down the backstretch.
Yeah, you know, looking at the last time we were here, we didn't race here last season, but in Season 1, Bolander led 20 of the laps in the race. So one of the highest lap leading totals from the last time we were here. Led a lot of laps, ran up front a lot as well, so we'll see. Didn't get to finish, though, so we'll see if he's able to put it together this time for himself. We saw him put it together, of course, on Thursday. Look at that move.
Chase Greer going all the way down to the bottom there, trying to carry that run, take the momentum there. What I have noticed before that move is that high line against the wall seems to be working out rather nicely. You get a train going on there, and those boys were really starting to pull away off of the inside lane there. So we'll keep eyes out on the Dale line, as they call it. But right now, you got another car going all the way to the back there using that escape runway. David Owens said, he said, I'm just going to slide back here and let you guys have that for a minute. I'm going to regroup.
Well, looking back also at that race in Season 1, your race winner not here, so that was Jack Sanders. He's not present here tonight, so we will have a new winner at Talladega this season around, guaranteed.
So I think the Colonel was on vacation, just getting back into the swing of things. So maybe just perfecting that recipe for that extra crispy, but not in attendance tonight. But the racing here, nonetheless, is nice and spicy and crispy indeed.
Yep. So looking at the super speedway winners, draft track winners. So of course we mentioned Jack Sanders won here last time we were here. The other guys that have won in the series at a super speedway draft track, Alex Hillman won at Daytona. He's not here currently tonight. Buddy Sully has won at Daytona in here. He's here tonight. He's currently moving forward in the field on that inside line. And the other person that's won on the draft track is actually right behind him. That's Joe Volpus in the 13. So right now, those two are the only present drivers that have won on the draft track in this series here tonight.
Absolutely. So those guys, you know, they have that credibility. They know how to get the job done. It's just all about, you know, being at the right place at the right time, who you're working with, who your friends are, and just, you know, take what the race gives you at this point. We're 7 laps in for our 75-lap main feature at Talladega. Richard Swingle on the outside there got the momentum leading that line right there. So Swingle currently in the lead. You see Bolander down on the bottom, the 39, pushing him as well as possible. Look at Zach Stevens there. Woo, that 47 come on down there. Chase Greer going to plop right in there as well. And you see Dylan Tibbetts up there on the 42 on the inside.
There's a lot of jockeying right now here in the middle of the field, but look at this. 97 car goes backwards a bunch. This outside line has completely stalled out. It has now gone down to a 2-lane race for the time being here. Zach Stevens, Andrew Bolander in control of those 2 lines.
Absolutely here. So how, you know, you got these guys pushing it. Maybe some guys are riding in the draft to save a little fuel. I mean, how long are we going on a tank of gas here at Talladega?
So, of course, 100% fuel at these bigger tracks in the series still. So, can probably go about 30 to 32 laps on a tank of fuel. Pretty straightforward 2-stopper here tonight. But the part that's not straightforward is how you want to do it. If this thing goes green, you could either do your splash and dash on the first pit stop and then go for a full tank on the second, or you could do it the other way around. Personally, I would go the other way around. You know, make sure you go full on the first one, take the splash on the second one in case there's a green-white checkered. You could always compensate to put more fuel in the car.
I tend to agree with that kind of philosophy, because if you do that early and try to run the race from the reverse, I think there leaves too much to happenstance. Too many things can occur, and then we start getting that yellow waving here and there. You've kind of put yourself in a little bit of a box, and if it does happen to go green for a little while and nobody pits with you, you have that opportunity of going a lap down. So too many things, too many variables, but right now these guys are going for it side by side, pushing the limits, and I love watching this.
One variable that I'm paying attention to in the further back part of the field, I'm seeing a car blink in and out excessively. That's Kyle and Knott. Must be having some severe
right
internet issues right now. I think he's just trying to hang on and hope that it clears itself up.
Yeah, so, you know, those connectivity problems, they really hurt with being able to utilize the draft and draft with that person. And also with iRacing's recent packet loss system, you don't want to be sent to the pits because you're having a little problem there with that good old internet.
Correct. Look at this. Swingle going to go in the middle.
Beverly going to follow him through the sucker hole as they go and challenge Bolander and Panzarella there. Look at Swingle and Beverly go to the bottom. What a move. They're working in tandem right there. Swingle to the lead.
What a move right there. Good job shooting through the middle. They're going to take 1-2 right there now. So Swingle back to the race lead here at the conclusion of lap 10. Pretty much kind of been in control somewhat here, along with Zach Stevens and Andrew Bolander over these first 10 laps, but nobody taking full control of this race yet.
Yeah, former Monday night East Coast Alliance teammates Swingle and Beverly working together. The 97 and the 77 hooked up. You see, a little push gone wrong there. Swingle said to hit the eject button, but everybody's good. We're racing. Can't push in the turns.
Yeah, that blue cone went flying a long distance right there. And now Swingle going to go all the way to the back as he can't get back onto the racetrack until he gets to the actual tail end of this turn pretty much. That's going to drop him way, way back here. to about 17th, 18th place, 19th place.
Yeah, Beverly radioed over to Swingle his apology. Swingle said, "No blood, no foul, homie. We go running. We're staying green here at Talladega." Look at Chase Greer going down to the bottom to chase Bolander there. Bolander, credit for the lap led. It's 12 of 75 here at Talladega, and we've had some fireworks early.
Yes, we have. Chase Greer now getting pushed from the 77, and the 2 car now pushing Bolander in the 18. Right now, these guys trying to hook up, and right now the 2 and the 18 doing a better job on the outside. Wonder if maybe the outside's working a little bit better overall. Now as guys go to the very high side once again, here comes Stevens and Fritz.
Yeah, it looks like the 77 shoved the 40 all the way down the backstretch. The 40 able to get that momentum and take the lead. He's going to sail up and control the middle line, go all the way up high there. Chase Greer trying to manage the lines right there and try to dictate the terms on this race, but Bolander will not be denied. Drops down to the bottom there. It's a drag race down through the tri-oval.
4 wide, 4 wide. It looks like a couple of those guys did not work together well right there, and now it's created some chaos. Bolander and Babcock able to get back in line, though, so it's all going to work out. But it's now allowed Chase Greer to take complete control. Oh, whoa, we got people moving and grooving.
Yeah, it looks like the 42 pushed the 77 out of bounds and then decides to upend him. The 77's on his roof. We got a chaos here at Talladega. That's going to bring us to our first caution of the race. Oh, my goodness, what an electrifying wreck.
77 upside down. Let's see, we got Blake Tuggle. I think he got involved in this. 42 involved. Parham, I think he might have skated through. Looks like these guys all skated. I think Zach Panzarella got involved. Take a look at it. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, very involved.
It just looked like from the very get-go when we went green tonight, somebody pulled the plug from that grenade and was just holding off for dear life, and right there, somebody released the handle and dropped it and ran, because we had quite the explosion there, and that brings out the first caution of our main feature tonight. Incredible events there, as you saw, multiple cars involved. We'll have to take a look and see exactly how that unfolded, but my, oh my. You saw that 4 wide before, Joe, and that was incredible. Those guys just trying to hang on for dear life, and they got a little dicey there.
Yeah, here we go. Go back and see what happened here.
Yeah, take us through this. Look at all this.
Hey, guys trying to go places. Everybody just starts scrambling, and then they're just turning each other, and then flipping and flying. Cars get through, cars don't. It looks like Parham got his slowed down. I was wondering if he got damaged or not. Looks like he got his slowed down, didn't get damaged, but the 77 ends up upside down. Go on board with him here, see what he was seeing. Like the 42 tried to come down in front of him. He makes a move to get out of the way, and then it just created chaos above him when the 42 had to go back right. The 39 42, I guess they had a misjudgment there, and ends up with the 77 getting flipped.
And what a ride he went for. He's just on his dome sliding right there. He's hoping somebody could hit him and turn him back over, but my, oh my, what an incredible series of events there. 42 unsure where to go. And obviously, when these guys have their runs, you know, those holes close fast. And my, oh my.
Yeah, it just turned into a destruction. It turned into a quick scramble right there. As soon as the 77 had to make a evasive move to the left, then everybody started scrambling. I saw Panzarella trying to make a move. You saw Tuggle try to make a move. You saw the 42 try and find a way back in line. And then this is just the end result. Whee!
Woo! Hope you took your Dramamine before you watched the broadcast, folks, because my, oh my, that's some impactful footage right there. You see all that asphalt right there as you go sliding on the roof. Incredible.
All right, so we got some strategery going on here. So it's not counting Buddy as coming down the pits there, so that's interesting.
Oh, what happened there?
Uh-oh,
What
I think he had a screen. I think he had a screen failure right there. That's not good.
The 21, Sully, with a problem right there. Hits the inside retaining wall under caution. Incredible technical difficulties right there. A horrible, horrible series of events to see right there. The 21 trying to address a technical issue.
Yeah, that's going to be a big loss for him. He's going to have to come use the fast repair. Zach Winstead looks like he's going to take over control of the race now with Stevens, Greer, Fritz. Everybody else came down pit road. I don't really think it matters if he took tires or not. So right now you just got guys fixing a lot of damage right now. I see Blake Tuggle. He's been in there for a long time as we have
It's
a
a great
terrible
pit road
camera
camera
angle right
of our
here.
RV campground right there.
If we could find the pit road camera, that might help, which I can't find it. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Hey, look, pit lane camera. Oh, wow, what a great pit lane camera. This is incredible stuff. You know, these cameras are something else. They're groundbreaking
Yeah,
stuff.
this is a high dollar and amazing production value
Let's
right
just let's
before your
just
very eyes.
let's just go into this camera because at least you could see these cars from the overhead. So the 7713 both fixing a lot of damage here. Now guys coming down a second time behind them to come take fuel. They're gonna barely make it out in front of the pace car right there without getting any sort of a black flag or getting lapped. So they stay on the lead lap, or at least Volpa stays on the lead lap, I believe. Yeah, Beverly being scored a lap down.
Yeah, Beverly had to tow about a 3.5 minute tow, but only under 4 minute repair time on the clock for the optionals. Elected not to go for the fast repair. You know, it's one of these plate races. And Joe, cautions can breed cautions at these races. We saw the kind of moves and strategy going on. You know, it could just happen at a moment's notice. So these guys banking on a few more yellows to fix their damage, save that precious fast repair when it is money time.
Yeah, right now these guys, so now everybody's gotten the chance to put some extra fuel in the car so they can make it now in one stop to the end. So it's pretty much a straightforward race as long as as long as it goes green, which is a lot to ask.
That's a big if, but if it does happen, that would be pretty amazing to see unfold because, you know, it was a pretty good first stint there. You know, they were able to go a nice amount of laps there before we had the issue there. I think these guys have probably learned a lot on the track thus far. What were your takeaways from that first green flag run?
Runs can be built from any lane. It looks like the middle lane might be the best. High side definitely has a lot of potential though as well.
So for those guys working the bottom, you know, it might be a little bit safer down there. However, the real speed seems to be above where you have that banking, you have that more real estate to generate those runs and that raw speed. So it's just a matter of who your dance partners are. Pace car is off. We're going to go back to green flag racing. Chase Greer in the 40 on the inside. Zach Stevens in the 47 on the outside. Going to go past the Yellowwood sign to the Geico restart zone. And there it is. Zach Stevens is off, gets a great jumps. Chase Greer there on the inside makes it happen. It looks like Matt Novella is going to Kyle Busch the field, one of those Busch brothers.
He's going to have to give all those spots back or incur a penalty, which I assume he's going to.
Yep, a lot of chatter on the comms right now. He said, I'm just going to give it back, just messing with you guys. Looks like a bunch of laughs are had, but wow, Matt Novella really timed that perfectly, Joe.
Yeah, you know, if there wasn't a rule about starting in the correct lane, that would have been the move to make. Actually, to be fair, he
right now
could have been right out front.
He really had it, but the right move right there was Matthew Fritz pushing Zach Stevens down to the bottom. Those two are hooked up, get in front and clear chase in the 40 there. Zach Stevens, your race leader, Matthew Fritz in second. Look at Bolander right behind them. You see Robert Babcock and Richard Swingle on the outside with Andrew Davis behind them trying to generate something.
Yeah, right now it looks like everybody's trying to maybe find their way into a spot and settle in. But I don't expect it to stay like that for too long. It's a little too wide action. Now guys trying to shoot out 3 wide. Craziness going on middle field.
Yeah, Bolander jumps out there with no help, and there we see he's got a helper now. Looks like Dalton Connor going to pop out and help him out in the 93 right there. But look at the outside. Davis in the wall a little bit. Going to go underneath Swingle, go tuck behind Robert Babcock. That middle lane, Joe, I think you've hit on something right there. It looks like that seems to be
Oh,
the
whoa, whoa,
sweet
whoa,
spot.
whoa!
Oh, cars around, cars damaged, the 39 involved, the 42 flipping
Oy!
around on his head, Jordan Lane in the 4 as well. We have another caution from Talladega.
80 slides down the track on its side and will flip onto its roof, and that is going to bring out the second caution of the race. Bunch of immediate tows. Looks like the 42 is out. Looks like the 80 is also out. Looks like we're still waiting for Buddy to come back into the race potentially as well, so we might have 3 guys effectively out of the race already. And
Yeah, just as these guys were coming back up to speed, Joe, it just you could see everybody getting a little squirrely, jockeying around, switching lanes. It got crazy in a hurry right there. Not a lot of patience exhibited on that restart.
yeah, looks like the 77, I believe, should get the lucky dog here.
Yeah, so I think the 77 will be your lucky dog candidate. I think he's playing a little bit of some mind games right here.
Hey.
See Zach Panzarella going down there as well.
There's the 97 car.
Richard Swingle right there, crab walking a little bit. So Swingle with a little bit of an issue he's going to have addressed, and Vulpes still without a nose.
Yeah, they're still working on that car as well as the one of Panzarella. That car's also getting worked on.
Who's that? Is that was that Novella blinking there, or was that Lanat there we saw in the last frame? I think Matt Novella was blinking a little bit there, so we'll have to keep tabs on him as well moving forward. Take a look at the replay here. Joe, unpack this for us. What's happened here?
Looks like some netcode really happened there on the inside with the 00 and the 4. I don't know if the 4 expected to be 4 wide there. I don't think the 97 on the outside did either, but definitely netcode between the 00 and the 4 that triggered the whole wreck.
So while improvements have been made with the contact model with this car and a little bit of some of the glaring netcode issues, you see it still reach out and bite as cars went around, and then whee! Another car on its side going for a ride of their life.
Yeah, there's Lesko. He's just sliding down the track, hoping somehow this thing flips back onto all 4s, but it does the opposite and flips onto its
Beverly
roof.
on its roof. Incredible.
It's a good wide angle here of what happened. You can see just the 42 and the 80 go flying there pretty much from the physics.
Absolutely. A little bit of negative chatter over comms currently. Hopefully cooler heads will prevail. However, you know, some drivers agitated early here as we're under caution for the second time. Not quite a third of the way through. So plenty of racing left to be had. I think it's just one of those moments where these drivers just need to sit back, just focus on managing their gaps, holding their lines, and just getting this thing under control. Log some laps at this point. You still have a pit stop or 2 at the very least, and you don't want to see a high attrition rate here at one of these plate tracks.
Yep, and looks like some of the guys pitted, some of the guys stay out. So Dalton Connor's going to lead the guys that stay out. Zach Stevens, the first of the guys that pitted. Guys fixing damage, I see Swingle, Owens, Lanat, Panzarella, Vulpes, Beverly, and Novella all down there fixing damage.
Yeah, Dalton Connor putting together a really good campaign this season, Joe. I've impressed with seeing him week to week. The 93 is definitely running a lot of consistent races, trying to take care of the car week in, week out, and he's put together some good finishes. So, you know, hats off to him in his campaign here in the ARCA series, showing off some really good skill and potential.
Yeah, doing a good job here to start the race here tonight. Trying to get some good points. Definitely wants as many points as he can get, right? So off to a good start, leading laps. So that's a good way to get guaranteed points, guaranteed bonus points. And I'm sure he wants to get into this battle with Steve Lewis and the other guys around him, of course, as well. Jay Stinson not being here, that's a huge help. So
Great opportunity for him. And another one, the 22, David Brenner, looking to get the most points he can tonight as he is still eligible to make the chase. So the 22 already positioning himself towards the front where you need to be when this all shakes out. So David Brenner doing what he needs to do at the moment, currently in second.
yeah, so after tonight, we'll pull out the color coding for everybody for next week at Homestead, like we did on the VRN broadcast in Bonfire, so you guys can tell who's where in these situations. But yeah,
Yeah.
Brenner right now 15th in the points coming into tonight, needs to make up some significant points, I'd say, between this race, Daytona, and then have a good race at Homestead as well, and he'll be
Andrew
right there.
Davis. Andrew Davis, Brandon Garand as well in the thick of that points battle to make the chase. So these guys are all towards the front where they need to be. And, plenty of laps to go here. However, your mindset, some of these guys like stay towards the front, try to be away from the middle of the pack where a lot of these things can originate and maybe be ahead of where the big one is, so that way you're around at the end to compete to get that victory, because a victory, while it's not a winning you're in, definitely helps your momentum and helps your points out big time.
Yeah, that's definitely the case. So right now you want to make sure you're around to be dancing at the end of this thing, because that's the best way to gain points on somebody.
It is March Madness, so yeah, the big dance indeed.
All right, getting ready to go back racing here. We'll see if there's any sort of gamesmanship on this restart. I don't see anybody up front that really hooked up that work with each other usually. So I'm expecting a pretty interesting restart here, actually. How these
The
guys work together.
988 the 988 still blinking and flashing, so Kyle Lanot still having an issue there. We'll have to see how that affects the restart, but you're right, Joe. It's going to be electrifying here on this restart. You have quite a mixed bag going on here. Dalton Connor going to get the jump early in the box. David Brenner outside. We're back racing from Talladega, coming to 22 of 75 at the line. They're side by side. It's a drag race as they're coming up the speed, entering turn one. Looks like Connor's going to be side by side with Brenner. Brenner's got a lot of energy. Timed that restart beautifully. Gonna need some help from Davis. He gets a little shove right there. Connor with the slight advantage. Exited two. They're side by side. It's row by row. Looks like they fired off clean, Joe.
Yeah, really fired off clean here. Nobody making any sort of rash moves on this restart to go 3 wide yet. As I say that, I think Lanot went out there to maybe get out of the way with his blinking, or he's going to get help from Nate Lesko, who's going to decide pushing a blinking car might help him get to the front. That's a bold strategy.
Let us know how that works out, Nate. I have had horrible luck with that in the past. But as you can see, Andrew Davis making the move to the point. Andrew Davis taking control of the lead. The 20 car of Winstead on the outside as well. It's a drag race through the tri-oval. Looks like Andrew Davis is going to get the help from Brenner right there. And you see Winstead with some help of Bolander. The 22 and the 33 are really hooked up right now.
Yeah, the irony of the 22 and the 33 working together, they're both trying to work their way into the same positions in the points, and they're both on the outside looking in, so having them work together, very ironic right here. But, whatever works, right?
Absolutely. You still have 40 some odd laps remaining. It's just all about once you get to the front, you can be friends, but once you get to the front, all bets are off. Oh,
Hey!
Andrew Davis, he said, looks like we're not going to be friends anymore as he gets shoveled in the back. They all kind of bottled up and checked up. They're 3 and 4 wide through the tri-oval.
Yeah, so much for that not being 3 wide thing, as that moment right there pretty much shook everybody up now. And now you got the chaos of the 3 lanes starting up once again.
And what that did, that brought Zach Stevens to the point with Nate Lesko right behind him. So Zach Stevens going to take the point. Lesko going to migrate up top, get the shove from Bolander. They're side by side right there. You see Winstead behind them, Matthew Fritz as well.
Yeah, right now it looks like Lesko might go from being upside down to, well, I guess he's not leading the race because I think he was being scored a lap down because of the toe. So this is to get back on the lead lap for him, get back the old-fashioned way. No better way. Right now he needs a caution right this second, just not to be the caution.
Yeah, Lesko right now unlapped himself the traditional way, giving the opportunity for somebody a lap down possibly to get the lucky dog. But just as we say that, Andrew Bolander goes up top, going to take control of the lead right there, get around the 80. Fritz drops down below the 80. My goodness, look at Brandon Guerin coming around the outside. Is that a menthol?
Yeah, David Owen somehow worked his way up front here as well on the high line, and now is behind Brandon, giving him a shove out front.
Look at Brandon Guerin there. He said, smoke him if you got him. The 57 to the point right there in the middle lane. Brandon Guerin shot out of that cannon, going to take the lead, going to migrate down to the bottom. There you go. He's out there a little bit too far, but we're going round and round. Oh, my goodness. Goodness. Richard Swingle was down there. Wow. Bolander slams into him. Fritz slams into them. What contact? We're under caution from the third time tonight at Talladega.
Oh, no.
David
They
Owens.
wrecked again there.
Wow, what an incredible chain reaction right there. It looked like Swingle was a lap down, minding his own business on the apron, and they're all calamitied into him right there. I can't wait to unpack this replay. That was a disaster in the making.
Yeah, that car's got a lot of damage to. Yeah, that's a toe and a.
That's a toe, baby toe.
I think Nate Lesko might be done. Try and find where.
Ironic, we see a camera angle of the tunnel there. Some of these guys are going to be done and exiting through that tunnel after this caution from Dega. Take us for a ride here, Joe. This one was wild and spontaneous.
Yeah, so we saw in practice that if you pushed pretty much coming out of a corner, the car would get really light and it would shoot it around like that, and that's exactly what happened here. It actually happened in both the middle and outside lanes. Novella got Owens, and it looked like Babcock got Bolander, and it just created this massive wreck down here.
Absolutely, and then the 97 who was down there on the apron, look at this, staying down there, saw the lead pack getting out of their way, and wouldn't you know it, he became an unfortunate victim of circumstance right there. As you see, we ride on board with Robert Babcock as the rear got light. It didn't look like that bad of a push, Joe. They looked like on both lanes they were squared up, and still the result was the same.
Yeah, Zach Panzarella ended up perpendicular with the 97 after this first contact, sent the 97 sideways and up towards Panzarella. Just minded his own business and then ends up T-boned out of it into a massive wreck. I mean, that's got to be the worst feeling in the world, seeing that in your mirror.
Yeah, that's just how these deals can be, you know, just minding your own business and going, riding, and then blink of an eye, you're going along for that ride. What an incredible series of events tonight to bring out the third caution from Talladega. This is Friday Night Thunder, and they are bringing the thunder from Talladega.
I think we're pretty much a third of the way through the race, so I think now's a good time to, with everybody pitting except for the top three, I think it's a good time to shout out one of our sponsors.
Absolutely. There's a gentleman that has a question for you. Take a look and see if you know the answer.
Here at KK Woodscapes, we only work with the finest woods, the finest tools. We sand the wood here at KK Woodscapes. We stir the paint with a wooden stick here at KK Woodscapes. And then we brush the wood with a wooden brush here at KK Woodscapes. And when it's all said and done, we have these perfectly manicured nails. Put the plaques in the trophies, in the envelopes, ship them to your box, and on your way to you to commemorate your special day. Got wood, KK Woodscapes.
I know the answer. But if you don't know the answer, Kevin Kyle sure supplied it for you. So if you see anything that you like he can bring it to life. His creations are second to none. Provides a lot of the trophies, winner awards, and special edition materials for Moonlight Racing League, Bonfire Racing League, throughout the iRacing community. So reach out to Kevin Kyle at KK Woodscapes. He got it going on for you. He's got the wood. Back in action here, we are going to be under green here. You have Brandon Guerin electing to go outside, and Hunter Hall elects to go inside on this restart. Brandon Guerin gets a great jump, leaves them all behind. Chase Greer is going to try to catch up to him. I don't know if they got a little too far out there, Joe, but they've spread the field wide there. Oh my goodness, what a restart. Guerin takes the control at the point.
Yeah, right now, Brandon going to take control, Chase Greer behind. But I am concerned with how far out in front they got. Here comes Steve Lewis, David Brenner with a run. We'll see if they're going to follow or make a move.
Steve Lewis is going to stick to his guns. Robert Babcock's going to go below them underneath David Brenner there. Use the run with Zach Winstead. He's going to bring David Owens as well. David Owens recovering nicely from that last incident. He's going to be down on the bottom working with them, but Guerin's going to take the lead. David Owens got happy feet, jumped out of that mess as well. So he's searching for room, seeing who to work with. David Brenner goes into that middle lane. Is he going to have some help? I don't know, but Guerin gets credit for the lap lead.
Yeah, Owens led him up there. Teammates right there working together. Good job having his back right there. But right now, Bolander now shooting to the inside with Babcock, going to try and make something happen on this inside. But it looks like the outside is just got complete control of this race at the moment.
Outside is hooked up. Look at that. It's a runaway train. You see David Owens going to migrate down to the bottom, going to pick up there, let Bolander push him along with Babcock. David Owens going to try to make it happen on the bottom. But look at that freight train up top. Guerin, Chase Greer, Steve Lewis, David Brenner, Andrew Davis. It's quite the momentum. They got it. A great run going on there. David Owens trying to fight back on the bottom. It looks like they're going to even up the momentum. David Owens got the edge right there, going to come to the line, and it looks like Owens gets credit for the lap led there. This is a great side-by-side battle.
Yeah, if we take a look here and see how many different race leaders we've had to this point, David Owens makes it the 12th different lead change of the night as he took the lead there. And we're only 30 laps in, mind you, 12 lead changes in 30 laps with those 3 cautions as well.
Great parity there. I'm not sure the record for this series offhand, but that is an incredible stat, just a third of the way, just under halfway for the super speedway race. So just like in real life NASCAR, a lot of lead changes at a play track. Very exciting to watch.
Yeah, right now guys trying to figure out if they want to go 3 wide or not. Looks like I saw the 39 and the 47 think about going 3 wide. They're going to try and get some momentum on the high side. But now the guys pushing on the inside have control of it. And I think the reason why is because they didn't have themselves hooked up to a point where they were overheating yet. So I think once they end up having to separate, which looks like it's happening, the outside is going to take control again.
Yeah, the inside had the energy there for the moment. It was well formed, but the outside took a breather, let the nose stick out, get that cool down, that engine cool down. Now the inside line had to do the same. The outside has the momentum. Guerin is at the point on the outside right there. Chase Greer looking on the inside. They're approaching lap traffic. We saw what happened last time there was lap traffic impending, but it looks like we're going to get through it cleaner as they all navigate through and around Jordan Lane right there. Woo, little evasive action there, but everybody's going to make it through okay, and we're back to racing. And what I've noticed, Joe, is that 39 and that 47 have been working together, trying to get that third lane working there for different portions of this race. We'll have to keep our eye on that. As you see, Tuggle and Stevens have been a great partnership up to this point.
Yeah, right now, though, they're separated. I saw the 39 out of line without any sort of help. So he's right now dropping to the tail end of this group. As now, look at this, the 40-57 pushing again. And now Stevens is going to go outside without Tuggle. So this is very interesting.
And David Owens is trying to battle back with Bolander, giving him all the pushing and shoving he can to try to even back up. But Garrett has that middle lane working well. Chase Greer pushing him perfectly. Steve Lewis hanging back at the right distance. David Brenner staying in tow as well. Andrew Davis helping out as well. They're not getting too antsy there. They're staying well formed up to this point, trying to get in that groove, settle down a little bit. And it's been refreshing to watch. You see Garrett with credit for another lap led, the 57 in control at Talladega.
Yeah, lap 34 now. We're getting close to halfway in this race. And still looking at the pit strategy, even with those guys pitting on the last caution, that didn't get them into a window to make it on no more pit stops. Everybody still has to pit one time in this race, no matter when they've pitted to this point, because they all pitted within that window to make it on one stop. So pretty much everybody on the same strategy to a point at this time.
Yeah, still going to have to go one more time through the pits, but not yet. If you pit now, you're not making it to the end. We're not quite to halfway yet. But Brandon Guerin in the 57 is showing us the way with Chase Greer in tow. It's been quite a refreshing way. These guys working together, keeping it clean. You see the 47, a little bobble there outside there. That side draft I've noticed as well, Joe. That side draft is pretty intense the way it creates a vacuum effect and sucks you door to door. That's something to keep an eye out for as well.
Yeah, as that 3 wide action now is sucking them off of those 3 cars that have broken away now. It's allowing these guys to get away as the 22 and 47 get together.
Little contact there, not the good way of sucking off. So we'll make sure they keep a good distance between each other. But you see that 39 and 47 committed to making that high line work. It's a breath of fresh air to see guys sticking to their guns right there. Brandon Guerin and Chase Greer, it's like friends and familiar faces right there. Steve Lewis staying with them as well, but David Owens trying to get a little side draft work. You see that bottom there, it's a little disjointed right there, so the 8 trying to use what he can to bring them back to him.
Yeah, right now, they're just all trying to catch back up to these front 3 after their moment, and now they finally got the momentum there, and it looks like Steve Lewis might end up in an awkward situation. He's able to work it out in his favor. It looks like we could be 3-by-3 here very shortly.
Absolutely. Look at that. The 77 jumps to help out Tuggle and Stevens there. We are 3 wide. Brandon Guerin leading the way from Talladega. You see Andrew Davis going all the way down to the bottom to help David Owens as well. You see Zach Winstead, Tommy Fox down there. That inside is just totally disintegrated. The top 2 lanes are where the momentum are right now. As you see him scatter and go 4 wide.
And Chase Greer going to take control of this race potentially. Or is Blake Tuggle going to get it done on the outside?
The 77 pushing Tuggle right there. Blake Tuggle, the 39, the newcomer this season, showed great showing here at Talladega. That pink machine is hooked up. Look at those guys up top working hard.
Yeah, they're getting a little squirrely, though. Got to make sure don't get a little too squirrely, get into somebody the wrong way. We've seen how many wrecks that's caused as the 8 makes it 4 wide.
4 wide. You see the 77 go up top with the 24 as well. Guerin goes down to the bottom with Lewis.
Oh.
What a shift right there as they all changed lanes. What a scattering. And they still haven't figured it out. We're 3 wide through the tri-oval.
It's pretty wild racing right here for the race lead and for every position on back. But now that we're at halfway, I think we can take our time to do a little crank it up here halfway.
We're at a super speedway. We're going to hear all the sights and sounds. Let's go ahead and crank it up. And we are back from a Crank It Up Dega style here on Friday Night Thunder. I'm your host, Nate. I've got Smoking Joe in the pits, in the booth with me. He's not the pits, folks. And it's been an incredible race, just past halfway here at Talladega. It's lap 41 of our 75-lap main feature. David Owens, your current race leader. We've had a total of 3 cautions tonight for 9 laps and 14 lead changes up to this point. It's been exciting racing, to say the least, and I'm glad to bring you the coverage here on the MRL Broadcasting Network.
Yeah, so you see David Owens is the current leader in these 14 lead changes. He's only led 6 laps, though. Our current guy that's led the most laps to this point, I believe, might be Brandon Garand. If not, it might be Zach. We got guys leading a lot of laps here. He's got 10. Let's see. I know Zach Stevens has got some good laps led. He's got 6. As he gets really loose right there, geez, that was almost bad.
A harrowing moment right there.
And I know we've also seen the 97 car many laps down right now, but he's led. Looks like he's led 1. I know I saw him up front earlier. I feel like that might be off.
Yeah, so I think Garand is our current driver with the most laps led, with 15 lane changes now, as these guys are just giving haymaker after haymaker here, bringing exciting racing for us to bring to you tonight from Talladega. Just this is one of 3 races remaining before this series enters its chase, so a lot to be determined points-wise, and these guys are sensing the urgency here at the ultimate leveler and anybody's guess here. The coin flip indeed at Talladega, Joe. And from what we see, Brandon Guerin in need of helping his points is going to have to wait one more time, because that's going to bring out the caution again. Wow. Wow. Andrew Bolander going around. David Owens with damage. Oh, my goodness.
8 car is caution absolutely destroyed.
Caution out for the 4th time at Talladega, just as I was given that broadcaster's jinx. Wow, I need to keep my mouth shut.
That car is really destroyed. Babcock, I think he survived. So did Zach Stevens. Those 2 look okay. Pace car looks like it's really all right. That thing's got 600 horsepower under the hood. It's all right.
Yeah, I need to check that car post-race inspection. What's he got under the hood?
We'll have to replay and see what happened.
Brandon Guerin was your race leader as that unfolded. I'm going to have to take a look at the replay and unpack that. I wonder if it was another case of just... Oh, so Zach Stevens with a little bit of a moment there. A little bit of contact.
Into a ping pong effect. And poor David Owens just gets clipped.
Just Babcock at the wrong place at the wrong time there. Just one of those racing deals. Really not much you could do there. Definitely wasn't intentional. Just brings out
oh my goodness.
That was a hard hit right there. A lot of contact.
You see Steve Lewis? Are you going to see him right here?
They were on board with Steve Lewis.
Whoop!
And whip. So, walk us through that, Joe. At that point in time, is the caution out?
Definitely. So you can see what caused it here again. These guys went 3 wide, and then it just turned into a ping pong effect. But yeah, I'd say the caution, you can see when the lights turn yellow, it's right there. So it might not have been out yet. We'll have to look from Steve Lewis's onboard again. But
you see the smoke and the cars flying. This is where that term gets its name from, is this series in real life, the ARCA braking. It's just, you see it developing here. I don't think anything is to be gained by staying in the throttle, but it's such a split-second thing, Joe. It's hard to armchair quarterback this. But I would feel like you would want to woe the car down and maybe migrate to the bottom safely if possible.
Yeah, just a tough break all around for everybody right there. I think the caution came out simultaneously as Lewis got into the 8 car.
Lewis by a nose.
Yeah, 8 car really destroyed. I see the 88 very destroyed, probably towing. Looks like the 13 might finally be fixed all the way. 77 getting close
They're
to
fixing
being
all
all
the,
the way
yeah.
fixed.
So these guys playing the long game, trying to save that precious fast repair. And look at Buddy Solly coming in the pits right
You
there.
got another lucky dog right there. So I think he's gonna only be one down now. So he's almost back into this thing after his troubles.
21 battling back, showing great resolve tonight after having that technical difficulty early. You see Andrew Davis there trying to repair his bit of damage, caught up in that event right there. Steve Lewis looks like he's going to try to work on that damage, Joe. I think he's already used the fast repair, so the 88 with a little bit of an issue.
It looks like the 18. I don't know if he's all right. I can't tell. Actually, it looks like that car is gonna be okay. Uh, David Owens' car is now repaired as well. Looks like that was a fast repair. Dalton Connor, I see him coming out of the pits. Looks like he's okay. Andrew Davis, good.
Like he's in good shape. Kyle and not still having that blinking issue, and Lewis without a nose.
Yeah, Lewis definitely has damage. Vulpes,
Panzarella without a nose as well. So Zach's back on track, need of a facelift.
yeah, Vulpes looks like he's finally got his nose back on the car, so we'll see if that thing runs better now.
Absolutely. So, he had, I think, overhearing voice chatter, about 6 minutes of optional repairs there. So he's been methodically trying to chip away at that, hoping that that improves his aero and he can compete with these boys.
Yeah, for certain. Right now, we're getting into a window where you can make it on one stop. Actually, on no stops to the end. Right now, this caution is pretty much puts you right on the number to make it to the end.
So these guys are to the good now. We feel like the field can make it if we stay green right here. So it's going to be very exciting to watch here. Clearly, these guys are putting on a display. They're racing aggressively. Some are racing desperately, trying to get all the points they can. And, with a great equalizer like Talladega, like a super speedway race, it's anybody's guess. It could be anybody's race. So it's so hard to get a victory in one of these things here. The super speedway usually provides the best opportunity if you can keep the car clean and be there at the end. So you can kind of see that as a product of the racing tonight.
Yeah, for certain. Right now, though, Brandon Garand has just done the right things at the right time to still be in control of this race. Right now, looking to be the biggest benefactor of his current point standings if this race were to end as of this moment.
Yeah, I was just alluding to that, the caution before. He was in right place at the right time, doing all the things you need to do, positioning yourself properly, and being very competitive, leading a bunch of laps tonight. So the 57 has come to play. He's going to start on the outside, Tuggle on the inside in that pink 39. We're going to come to the Geico restart zone and go back racing here from Talladega. Guerin gets an early jump on the outside, going to take him down, gets a great jump. We're back racing from Talladega, 29 to go at the line.
29 laps to go, so we're definitely inside that window here. And now Brandon's going to have to really start getting up on that wheel because these guys are going to start pushing harder and being more aggressive as these laps wind down.
Hunter Hall on the outside there, going to get some help from Tommy Fox and Andrew Bolander. Matt Novella going to join them as well on the bottom right there. And look at that. That high line is starting to form the energy. The 57 slides up, going to get the shove from Hunter Hall, but David Brenner's going to push Tuggle into the corner. Guerin's not going to be able to go back down and clear. He's going to need some more help up there. They're not really formed up tightly as they're coming up to speed. The inside has the advantage at the moment.
Yeah, currently right now it's a drag race here between these guys for the race lead. And we got a wreck.
A little bumping and shoving the 77 around. And that's going to bring out a caution again as you see those two wrestling in the corner. You see Ken Redinger and Joe Vulpes with contact sliding up into the outside retaining wall, hitting that safer barrier. Caution for the 5th time tonight at Talladega.
Yep, it looks like Parham got some damage there. Saw the 77 completely sideways. Looks like that car's potentially stuck.
Looks like the car is good. I think the 77 said a few choice words to his comrades in the voice chat, but not directed at anybody else, and gathers it back up.
13 car on a
Volpus
tow.
without a nose again. So Volpus with more peril tonight. A great opportunity tonight for the 13 to get some points, to get past Eric Gambrill, who's not in the race tonight, as well as Justin Parham, who's behind him. So both of those guys involved to bring out our fifth caution tonight. We'll have to take a look and see what happened there. The 77 went around. I wonder if it was one of those kind of netco deals. Joe, walk us through this.
Yeah, it looks like a stack up on the inside, got the 99 shot out of line, and then the 77 99 gets stuck together, and it just creates one of those spin out situations. These cars do weird things where they get stuck together like that. That's what it looked like there, and then it just unfortunately shot the 77 down into the 24 across the track and creates this big wreck.
Just an unfortunate circumstance there. You know, they're just getting back up to speed on the restart. Everybody kind of shuffling around. You saw the 99 find a little spot to move down. The 77 was committed to that middle lane there, and just like a vacuum, they became magnetically just attracted to each other right there. And you see the 77 just trying to get away, and the 99 just trying to get away, and
Yeah, it just
they thought it would be better. They thought it would be better together, but clearly it was not. So unfortunate there. But it looks like both of those cars are going to be in good shape. Maybe just a little bit of damage there to kind of hammer out, and they'll be back at it. So unfortunately, you saw the nose fly off of the 13 there while he was contacted with Redinger. So unfortunate there for Volpus, and we'll see how much damage Redinger has after that as well.
Yeah, I think the majority of the damage happened to the 13 because of the way the 24 came across the track, hit the left front of the 13, broke the suspension. So that's where the majority of the damage came from. I don't think Redinger's should be too bad with the way the contact happened right there. Looking at these guys on pit road here, 24 looks pretty okay. Parham looks, yeah, you can see the 24, 99 rolling already. David Owens in the pits again. I don't know. Uh-oh.
Oh, wow.
I think
yeah,
that's a race ender.
I think David Owens already used that fast repair. You see that wheel, that camber is knocked all the way in. It looks pretty terminal right now. So unfortunate for the 8. David Owens with a little bit of a problem there. Just not his night tonight. And you see Steve Lewis there trying to get some repairs done. You see Kyle Lynott there trying to get some service done. Buddy Solly in the pits getting some service done.
That was another lucky dog. He's back on the lead lap now.
So 21 is back on the lead lap, recovering nicely from that technical issue early in the race. So the 21 is now going to be a factor.
Yep, I think these guys should be coming around to 1 to green this time around, if I'm not mistaken. Based on what I've been seeing. So Brandon's still leading the race here. Lap's still clicking off. We're going to be, looks like at 26 to go at the line, so it should go back to green with 25 to go.
Absolutely. So you see those guys already starting to pick inside, and Brandon wants to start outside. Seem to have good success with the past couple restarts there. Lights are off the pace car, so we will go green next time around.
Yeah, right now I'm still seeing Owens in the pits. I think he's done. Lynott in the pits, Volpus in the pits. So we'll see if they're able to get back out. Lynott and Volpus back out for the restart or not.
Yeah, hopefully those guys are able to fix enough of the damage so they can get out there, try to get the best finish possible. Again, you never know. We're starting to stack a few cautions here back to back. So if these guys chip away at it, you know, they may find themselves back on the lead lap, being able to improve their finishing position. So the hope is not lost for those guys. However, the battle is currently right now. You have Guerin going to start on the outside in that 57 machine. Andrew Bolander going to start inside in the 18. David Brenner behind the 18, and you see Tommy Fox in the 00 behind Guerin. So we're going to have an electrifying restart here. And just as we've seen this race trend, Joe, what are we going to be looking for here in the final segment of this main event from Talladega tonight?
Right now, I'm looking to see. I'm surprised. Right now, a few guys up front that have been having quiet races. Right, I'm looking at fourth place Tommy Fox right now on the outside. I haven't talked about him at all night. He's up front right now, running a clean race to this point. See David Brenner up front here as well. He's been in the middle of some stuff, but he's been all right, pretty much for the most part. Dalton Connor up here as well. We haven't really been talking much about him. So right now, I'm looking at the quiet guys in the race working their way to the front and making noise here late.
Yeah, so these guys are just minding their P's and Q's, doing all the things that they need to do to keep that car clean, keep all four wheels on it, keeping the fenders on the thing to be there for a shot at the end. We're going to come to the restart zone right now. We're going to go back to green flag racing, Garand on the outside controlling the tempo. And as we enter the restart zone, Garand going to go early in the box, going to get a great jump again. Andrew Bolander gets a pretty good jump on the inside. The inside looks a little bit better for him. Tommy Fox didn't go with the 57. The 57 is kind of out on his own, but he's going to be able to clear and go to the bottom and control the flow of the race. Garand gets a great restart there. Going to be leading through 1 and 2. The tie line is coming up to speed as you see Tommy Fox coming right up there side by side entering the backstretch.
Oh, Tommy Fox leads. Oh, he's going to maybe hold on to the lead here. Talk about him being quiet. He's being very loud right now, about to take the lead of the race.
You can sniff it. We're getting closer to the end. 25 to go here at Talladega. It's the final third of the race, but Zach Stevens and Tuggle up there in the top working together, and Chase Greer behind them. Those two have been working the outside all race. I was wondering when they were going to partner up again, and here you're seeing it. Zach Stevens to the lead.
Oh, he got sucker hold right there, though. Oh, they're going to actually leave Tuggle out to dry.
Tuggle's out to dry. Greer going to fall back in, and you see 24 Redinger. Oh, no. And look at that. Caution is going to come out again. Looks like the 77, minding his business, gets clipped again. Oh, my. Richard Swingle involved as well. Richard Swingle, I don't know how he has 4 wheels left on that race car.
Let's see who else is involved in this one.
And Zach Panzarella is still without a nose. And the 77 expressing more choice words over comms, not having a great night tonight. And you see Swingle getting back up to speed. Caution out for the 6th time from Talladega.
Yeah, big contact right there. You saw it in the background. We'll be able to pull up a replay and get a better look at what happened.
Yeah, so take us through here, Joe. It just looked innocent at first.
It looked like the 97 was shooting up through there. Swingle trying to get one of his laps back. 24 didn't see him down there, I think, and they ended up making contact. And then it shot the 97 back into the 56, which accordioned them back into the 77. And then the 77 gets T-boned by the 93. Great job by the 21, Buddy Sully, missing that wreck. But yeah, this one's rough. Almost avoided, but just too little, too late.
Just one of those split-second things that happen, and you're carrying that much speed. It's really difficult to try to aim the car and avoid the collateral damage that ensues from one of these deals. So caution out for the 6th time again tonight from Talladega on Friday Night Thunder. It's been an electrifying one. You saw that Zach Stevens was working with Blake Tuggle right there in that 39, and then they all kind of got separated, and it started that chain reaction right there. But it's been quite the action while we've been green tonight, Joe.
Yeah, it has been a very, very full race to this point. And right now, we'll see how it really plays out for these boys. But we hit 6 cautions, so I think we may have hit a threshold to run a second ad here.
Well, you know what? It's all about those sponsors. They play a key role in supporting what we're doing here and bringing it to you on a weekly basis. So let's provide you with what they're trying to offer you.
Here at KK Woodscapes, we only work with the finest woods, the finest tools. We sand the wood here at KK Woodscapes. We stir the paint with a wooden stick here at KK Woodscapes. And then we brush the wood with a wooden brush here at KK Woodscapes. And when it's all said and done, we have these perfectly manicured nails. Put the plaques in the trophies, in the envelopes, ship them to your box, and on your way to you to commemorate your special day. Got wood, KK Woodscapes.
Hey, what's better than having wood the first time, having it the second time? KK Woodscapes bringing you all the trophy and designs brought to life. It's top quality merchandise. Reach out to KK Woodscapes. Kevin Kyle does an amazing job. And through the art of movie magic, we're about to bring you the green flag right there, an abbreviated caution here as we come to the line. Zach Stevens going to go early in the box. Tommy Fox on the outside trying to match him right there. Stevens going to get the jump. We're back live here on Friday Night Thunder. Stevens going to control that as they come up to speed on the inside. The 00 and that high line is well formed. We'll see if they can carry the momentum on 1 and 2. And it looks like it's going to be Zach Stevens right there going to migrate up top there in front of Tommy Fox there, seeing that the high line is where it's at. He and his buddy Tuggle right there going to go side by side, maybe try to control the tempo of this race. Interesting maneuver there, Joe.
Yeah, right now, I don't know if that was, I don't think that was an orchestrated move. I don't think those two are in a Discord together, so right now they're just kind of racing it out. I think it got to the point where they want to battle for the race win, since they're technically not racing for each other.
Well, 20 to go. It'll be 19 at the line. Things are going to be more and more dramatic and desperate here. These guys are going to pull out all the stops here as we get closer to the end of this race. It's going to be incredible to see some of the maneuvers that these guys have been known to do. I've seen many of these guys race. We've raced with many of these guys before, Joe, and it's incredible to see how they do that moments there. Look at Guerin there, a little bit out of shape. He says, you know what, guys, go on by. I want no part of this right now. Going to be able to file back in there to a safer position on the track.
Yeah, you can see all these guys right now getting around him, though. Going to have to work back through the field. We'll see if he's able to get it done. 19 to go, so still plenty of time to make moves happen.
There it is. Guerin's going to move up to the top right there, looking like he's going to link up with the 77. They've been known to work together with great success before, but right now the battle's at the front. Zach Stevens is your race leader. Chase Greer in the 40, pushing him so eloquently with David Brenner right there.
Yeah, right now these guys going single file in front pretty much. Maybe a little bit of a calm before the storm. Ironically, it looks like this has been the calmest part of the race, racing-wise right here, with 18 to go. So we'll see how long it sticks this way. I don't expect it to stay like this for long because these laps are going to click off pretty quick running them this way. Absolutely.
I think, they're just trying to get their thoughts together. They realize that they were under 20 laps here. We got there's a little bit of time here to go. Matthew Fritz drives down to the bottom right there. Going to shake it up a little bit on the inside. But there's time to toy around and maybe you see what works and what doesn't work right now. Some of these guys are just content to ride, maybe work inside 10 laps to go to make those moves because we've seen it happen before. If you go too early, then you're just stuck and it's somebody else's opportunity to strike at the right time. So there's definitely a lot of psychological stuff going on right now as well as racecraft, Joe.
Yeah, right now these guys going single file, so ironically, this is the point where they go single files with 17 to go. So
you would think it would be the reverse.
Yeah, one would think that, but at this point in the race, a lot of these guys use their faster pair. I don't know how many really have it left, or they just don't want to get any sort of damage and be in a situation where they're not up front at the end. So, maybe
definitely lean into that and agree with you there.
Maybe letting the laps click off might be the best thing for everybody. Zach Stevens is saying it's the best for everybody because it's helping them lead some laps here.
He said, "Keep it coming, baby. I love logging these laps here. He'll gladly be the Pied Piper of sorts here at Talladega." And you're right. I want to hit on that. There's some of these guys that have used the fast repair have had extensive damage throughout the course of this race. They're kind of without a parachute, if you will. So, with that being said, a little caution, a little more of a conservative approach right now is probably the best medicine.
Yeah, right now, the thing that I'd be concerned with it, actually, I'm not even really that concerned because it does seem like it isn't too hard to get to the front of the field. So, right now, you just want to make sure you're not in a position where you're boxed in to not be able to make any sort of moves, which I don't think anybody currently is. Nobody really 3 wide yet to make that happen.
A lot of space, a lot of real estate there. You see there's 2 definitive lines, the inside and then up against the wall. The high line is prevailing as that's where the momentum and those are where the numbers at right now. So these guys giving each other a lot of room, not a lot of take going on right now. But you see a couple guys hopping out here and there, maybe getting a little air on that engine, cool things down a little bit, but nobody's really aggressively pushing at the moment, and that's when you're really going to see things dial up.
Yeah, right now, everybody just being very conservative. 14 to go. Laps just clicking off. Maybe we won't see another ramp up until that number gets in the single digits for these guys to really start making a move. But, yeah, Zach Stevens, Chase Greer, Ken Redinger all working together. We'll see if they can link up with Matthew Fritz. That would be very good for them if they can control the front 2 rows if there's a late restart.
Yeah, then you see, just as we say that, Beverly and Guerin look like they're going to make it 3 wide here. Look in that middle. We've seen the middle have a lot of success tonight. So maybe they're just kind of feeling out. You still have plenty of time to try things, see what works, see what doesn't. Look at Buddy Solly up there on the top, wrapping the top, but the center is starting to get a little energy. Swingle's going to follow in as well. And look at these guys here. They're starting to march through, split the lines here. The 77 and the 57 are coming.
Yeah, 13 to go, so it looks like it's going to ramp up here. Business about to pick up front. These guys right now looking like they're going to work to about 5th and 6th in line. Unless, they're going to slide up to the high line. They might keep going forward.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that. The inside is stalling out a little bit. Oh, my goodness. Look at that. And just as we call that, Swingle again with it caught up in the caution. Hunter Hall with some damage as well. And Buddy Solly collected. Oh, my goodness. Caution again for the unlucky 7th time tonight on Friday Night Thunder.
Oh, boy.
Richard Swingle, it's not been his race, Joe.
No, it's not. And Buddy Sully now going to have a bunch of damage after having to use the fast repair early. So we'll see how much of that he's able to get fixed. Hunter Hall went for a ride there. I think he came away pretty unscathed, though.
The 21 battled back from the technical and mechanical issue early to get back on that lead lap, and it looks like they were getting that high line working. And then we'll have to take a look to see exactly what transpired, but the 21, unfortunately, not his night up to this point either. A very unfortunate. You see the wall there. Dalton Connor hit the wall there. Sully tried to check up, and it was just a bang-bang play. Swingle right there, and that brings out the 7th caution tonight.
Yep. We'll see it here again. I think some netco between the 99 and the 97, and then it almost sent the 24, or, well, what should be the 26, flipping and having a blowover there, which would have been insane to see.
Flaps absolutely worked for Hunter Hall there, kept the car on the ground, and saved him from taking a ride on that roof like we saw Lesko and Beverly earlier in the race. But I want to make a point there. Before that all developed, that middle line was coming, Joe, and with fewer numbers as well.
Yeah, and the 97 of Swingle was damaged as well. So maybe if you get a couple more healthy cars in the middle, that's where you want to be.
So very interesting to see. Caution out for the 7th time tonight. We're almost around that 10 to go. So once we go back green, it's going to be all bets are off. As you see Zach Stevens right there, going to play a little head games with Chase Greer and the rest of the field. But it would, I think at this point, be foolish to pit at this point unless you had that damage, or perhaps if you have a set of freshies left. I don't know how much good that's going to do you here, as these tires really do a good job of holding up on the super speedway.
Yeah, so I know you on our last commercial break you were talking about giving Kevin Kyle's other company a shout out there. The website part of it, I have been told, is no longer up, but the shirts and everything are still in play there. See, with Sim and Destroy Racing.
Yeah, Kevin Kyle, he just an ambassador to the community. He has the Sim and Destroy Racing Company. He has sim racing teams across multiple series and multiple leagues, and he has a merchandise line to promote that. The Goldie right there, the launch edition. I have that t-shirt. I absolutely wear it and love it. The Gentleman Never Lift, that's probably next on my list. And then Burning Rubber Not Bridges, the ultimate thin line that we as sim racers follow. It's just all about the fun, but I know it's ultra competitive out there. I also got the Sim and Destroy ball cap that you don't see pictured there, but Kevin Kyle, just unbelievable. The man works tirelessly to support and promote and further this passion that we all share. So please show your appreciation and reach out to him and get you some swag.
Get that swag and get it now.
Yeah, get it done. Let's go. So yeah, so absolutely. So if we hear of him getting that merch site back up, we'll definitely supply the link, but reach out to him. He's got the goods.
Got the goods, and he's got the wood. Never forget, KK Woodscapes. Go get your trophies, all you need, all your wood sculpting and needs. Does some other specialty work as well, so reach out to him. He's got some cool stuff.
Yeah, actually, I think both of us have had, you know, some interesting ideas and concepts to throw at him, and he's executed those masterfully. So the man's a craftsman, and he likes a challenge. So it's just not about having that CNC machine. The man is a craftsman, and he can create art.
Yes, he can. Speaking of art, we're going to see some art here potentially for the finish of this race. Looks like when we go back racing, we're going to have 9 laps left. So it's really going to start clicking down here. So I don't expect these guys to fall back single file after we go green.
No, it's going to be run what you brung, and it's going to be a battle to the finish. These guys understand the intensity now. They understand that it's go time. The pay window has opened. All bets are off. We're going to see who's going to be friends with who and who is going to get all they can right now. I think we've positioned ourselves to a place in this race now that it's just going to be a bunch of mercenaries out there. So we're going to see everybody's best finishing move, Joe.
Yeah, so last 2 cautions, Vulpes, Lanaka, Lucky Dogs to get back on the lead lap. We ended up losing Matt Novella due to internet issues. He fell 7 laps down due to them. So we gained 2 on the lead lap, and we lost 1. So net gain of 1 over the last 2 cautions.
That packet loss is something, something, something else, boy. So Matt Novella, unfortunately, going to be laps down. Back to the restart zone. Zach Stevens on the inside. Chase Greer on the outside. We're back racing from Talladega. And Zach Stevens gets a great jump later in the box, but he's going to get the advantage right there. Looks like everybody got a great start, fired off just right. The lines are nicely formed. They're side by side as we enter 1 and 2. Stevens with the slight advantage.
Stevens going to get a good restart here. Help from Fritz and Redinger right behind him. That's the 2 best friends he could have. And then Chase Greer on the outside. They're going to try and control both lanes with that aggressive move. And now they might all move to the bottom. No, they're not.
What a block there. Stevens late as you could possibly go without causing chaos right there. Gets the shove from Greer. Gonna man the outside right there. We've seen the outside form having the momentum being the prevailing way to go. But it looks like they're in the sucker hole now. David Brenner gonna take it outside. Stevens with the block up high.
Yeah, Chase Greer gets shuffled out. He's going to have to go low or he's going to be stuck in the middle. He's stuck in the middle, 4 wide.
Stuck in the middle with you right there. It's no man's land. As you see, there's no friends. All bets are off. They're all going for all that they can right now. David Brenner on the outside with Andrew Davis and Beverly right there. Dalton Connor right behind them. Look at these boys go. 8 to go from Talladega.
Yeah, also see Tuggle work his way back up front, and then everybody on back, they're going to have to take some time to build up a new run as they all got shuffled up.
Look at those boys right there. Justin Parham trying to lead the charge in that second little pack there. As you see, he's doing everything he can to work the middle and the bottom with Zach Stevens and Chase Greer. They're coming, boys, but look at that high line go. Brenner, Davis, Beverly leading the charge up high.
Yep, Tuggle trying to jump low, and he's going to get that done.
Tuggle going to lead the charge on the bottom, as you see Aaron in the middle lane, but David Brenner has got it going on up top. Davis shoving him for all that he can. Beverly staying in that air bubble. They're running those temps hot.
Looks like it's about to be 3 wide potentially here for the lead in a second once again if these guys can get some momentum going, but nothing going on. Front 3 have complete control as of this moment.
Yeah, those guys are hooked up. They are stuck together. Look at that. Davis giving Brenner the shove. Beverly providing the cushion behind. It is masterful how these guys are working it. Dalton Connor hanging out back there. Hunter Hall with a little bit of an issue in the middle there. Woo! Look at Dalton Connor and Buddy Solly there joining the fray. It's a 5-car breakaway up top.
Yeah, I think he squoze the 18 car into the wall right there. No harm, no foul. Everybody able to survive for the time being. 6 to go here at the line.
Able to back it up. It's a 5-car breakaway now. As you see, the David Brenner train, the Brenner Express has left the station. 6 to go from Dega. You see that these guys understand that working the high line here is where it's at. They're going to run those temps as hot as they can to try to keep the advantage. But you see Buddy Solly down there trying to build some momentum, trying to get that started there, working with Parham. And you see Tuckle behind them. Will it be enough?
Uh-oh.
Ooh, a little bobble. Little
Big
bobble
wreck.
there. Cars are around. We're wrecking. That's going to bring out caution again. Oh, my God, Bolander. Whoa, Tommy Fox.
Oh,
Caution. Whoa. Bolander with the ride of the race right there. 8th caution tonight from Talladega. Matthew Fritz without a nose.
47 and the 48 are drifting sideways, crab walking after that wreck. I see the 18 with a bunch of damage as well. Further up, he just went barrel rolling across the track. Who's that right in front of him? That's Novella. He's that's insult to injury at this point. To have that car completely destroyed. I think Swingle's got some more damage. Panzarella on pit road, as you can so clearly see.
Infield Campground looks like it's where it's the party's at. As you see Hunter Hall having an issue. He's without a nose, and my God, he's just spinning his wheels right there. So Hunter Hall with massive issues there. That looks like maybe terminal. We'll have to see.
Car with damage here as well. So a lot of cars with damage.
That was the big one. We've had a few big ones tonight, Joe, but I think that was the quintessential big one. As you see, 6 laps to go, and things were getting very desperate up here.
Oh. Yeah,
maybe we get another
accordion.
look at
that.
Yep.
The T-bone.
Robert Babcock having that USDA Black Angus T-bone moment of the race. And look at that. Bolander was going for quite the ride there. That was incredible to see.
You go from Chase Greer's view. He's a little further back. You can see some of these T-bones. There's one of them. There's 2 of them. There's more of them behind him that actually pushes him through the wreck.
Yeah, he was able to apply the brakes at just enough at the right time, gets a little shove after, and then Hunter Hall tried to get through that, but that window closed abruptly.
Swingle into this and oops,
Swingle
just sends the 1 car straight into Bolander, which sent him flipping. Oof.
So a little late reaction there as we ride on board.
With Bolander.
Bolander, see, there's just you're at 195 miles an hour. There's just a split second when these things develop, and just the physics of the car won't allow you to avoid it. But my, oh my, I think I got motion sickness watching that one.
Yeah, once again, another big wreck here. Here's another view. You can just see all the cars that get involved in this. Oh my goodness. Oh! And then that big hit right there.
That was a big shot down low. My goodness. That one's right in the tenders.
Yeah, that's going to be a big wreck, and that's going to really shuffle the running order. So now David Brenner takes control of the race here. So we'll go through the field here. That's still going for it. So Brenner going to take control of the race. He's currently leading. Andrew Davis going to be on the front row with him. He's in second. John Beverly going to be in third. We saw those three working together really well up front. In fourth, I see Buddy Sully. It looks like he may have some damage. We'll see if he's able to be fast enough to hold on. Maybe damage. Yeah, a little damage there to the right rear.
Little cosmetic there.
Fifth place currently, Dalton Connor. I think he might have gotten away without any sort of severe damage there, it looks like. Justin Parham, he was able to get through there without any sort of troubles. He's going to be sixth. Blake Tuggle in seventh. His car looks pretty clean. Chase Greer in eighth. Looks like his rear end is just messed up. He didn't come get that fixed, but he's still going strong. Kyle Lynott is somehow still in this race with all of his blinking and still has a clean car in ninth. Joe Volpus in 10th. Looks like his car is clean at this point, but down a faster pair, of course. I'm sure Ken Redinger's probably down a faster pair at this point with everything that's happened as well. 12th place, Zach Stevens. Looks like I think he got pretty massive damage, so that might be a faster pair there as well. Brandon Garand, I'm going to assume that was a faster pair with how much that car was messed up.
He took quite a shot.
Yeah, Robert Babcock didn't get most of his damage fixed, so no faster pair used there. Tommy Fox is absolutely obliterated, but he's going to try and... Oh, my goodness.
Yeah,
he's going to try his best to finish this race. We'll see if he's able to finish it with that. Looks like Steve Lewis.
He's still on the lead lap, so trying to go for that best finish possible. I like the strategy.
Speaking of guys still on the lead lap, Steve Lewis still on the lead lap with whatever race car he has left. And Andrew Bolander still on the lead lap with whatever race car is still rolling for him. And looks like, yeah, no faster pair. He's been able to get the barrel-rolled car to roll and stay on the lead lap. So those are your 17 cars on the lead lap.
I think he had the biggest thrill ride at this amusement park tonight. Bolander really, that was probably the most expressive way that you could have a wreck and then continue to ping pong. It was something else to see.
Yeah, it was. Looks like when we come back around, we're on 1 to green here, so when we come back around to go back racing, there's going to be 3 laps left, so a 3-lap shootout. Actually, hold on a second. No, it's going to be a natural green-white checkered here.
An organic green-white checker, so no overtime as of yet. These guys are going to try to get it done in regulation, and you know, the what could have been, got to flush that out the toilet. That 5-car breakaway up top is no more, as these guys are all stacked back up. Going to gather it up one more time here tonight. You see the lights off the pace car, so it's go for it here, and there is just a short opportunity to do that. The window is open. Who is going to bring it home, Joe? I mean, it's anybody's game right now. These guys are just incredibly racy.
Yeah, I'd say anybody with a clean car has a fair chance to win it, but you got to have a clean car at the white flag as well. So somebody could end up losing a clean car here on this restart lap. It's all about making it to that white flag, though, and being in position.
Just got to get around one time here to bring out that white flag to make it official. Pace car is off. The drama, the intensity is here. This is what Friday Night Thunder is all about. David Brenner on the inside. Andrew Davis on the outside. Coming around through the tri-oval to the restart zone. We're going to go back racing. And here we go. They're off. Green flag out. Brenner gets a great start right there. Gets ahead of Davis. Beverly gets a little loose, gets down below, looks like a little contact down there, shuffles the restart. Brenner out without a parachute, no help. They're formed up top right there. Connor's going to try to draw into Brenner and give him the shove, but he says, nah, man, I'm going to go inside. 4 wide, look at that. Tuggle, 2 lines on the yellow, 2 tires on that yellow line. That will be reviewed.
Yep, looks like the 988 almost does the same thing there, but doesn't gain anything out of it. It looks like... Oh, and now they're turning each other.
Oh, my goodness. The 39 and the 22 with a moment. They're able to recover. Renninger, a little contact as well. We're still green. We're still green. Andrew Davis with the advantage. Right there, you see it. Buddy Sully behind him, Parham behind him, Vulpes on the bottom right there.
Looks like Vulpes got abandoned by everybody, and they're going to just all go around him.
It's they're shuffling around. It's the two upper lanes going. Davis trying to control the action. White flag out at Talladega. What
Buddy
will we
gets
see
abandoned
here?
now here, it looks like as well.
Sully hung out to dry. Garrett coming on the inside. Right there, Davis leading the charge. Parham going to drop below him. No, he's going to stay put. Chase Greer going to take a look down low. Parham goes down to the bottom. Stevens down to the bottom, pushing Parham. Davis and Greer working up high. Garand entering the frame. Babcock up high. Lynott on the bottom. Here comes Beverly underneath. Coming through 3 and 4.
Yep.
Parham with the charge. Will Davis side draft aggressively? They're wrecking behind, but we're still green. Coming through the triangle. Parham has the advantage. They're pushing, they're shoving. Davis with the side draft. Parham with the slight advantage. And to the line, Justin Parham is going to take it from Talladega.
Oh, and they're going to wreck after the start-finish line.
Holy smokes, Batman. What an electrifying finish. The race winner with no car at the finish. Wow, he got obliterated after that.
Yep, right there. You know what you saw right there was two guys that were willing to stick with each other, and they made it work. Parham and Stevens, it seemed like they were the only two that were willing not to underbind each other there in the last restart pretty much, and were able to stick together nose to tail and took control of the race, coming to the white flag, and then able to win it on the checkered. Stevens able to get second out of it there as well. So right there, good fortitude between the two of them to make it happen.
Incredible final restart from Talladega there. It was 2 laps of lightning in a bottle. Justin Parham and Zach Stevens said, we're going to stay together for the kids. Everybody else filed for divorce. And look what happened there. The 99 going to take it to victory lane without a nose. As we saw, cars got obliterated after crossing that start-finish line. What a finish from Talladega tonight.
Yep, and there's your race winner. It's not even registering that Parham led the last lap for some odd reason. That's pretty wild from this, but we do know that he led the last lap of the race, the most important one, to win here tonight. And as he's doing his donuts, I think we actually have him to pull in.
Yeah, the most important part was the car was still intact to celebrate there and do those victory burnouts. What an electrifying finish. You saw Davis trying to battle back on the outside there, just didn't have enough help and didn't have enough time. Stevens was going to push the 99 at all costs to get across that finish line. What a finish. I cannot say it enough, Joe.
And here's your race winner to take it through his perspective of it.
Absolutely, and we have tonight's race winner joining the broadcast. The 99 of Justin Parham takes it to victory lane here at Talladega. Welcome, Justin.
Yes, sir. How y'all doing tonight?
Oh my. We're just trying to calm down after that race. What an electrifying finish. That was an incredible victory tonight. What do you have to say? How did that happen?
A little bit of luck. A little bit of luck and a little bit of help from my teammate.
Yeah, we saw that final restart there. Zach Stevens was committed. The 47 was committed to push you through thick or thin right there. Davis was trying to battle back on the outside there, and you guys just had enough of the moves and had enough of the mojo to bring it home tonight in victory lane. What an incredible race. We had a lot of cautions tonight, a lot of different strategies at play. What was your mindset going into this race and eventually pulling off the victory?
Well, it started off, I didn't qualify good. I think I started somewhere around mid-pack, and as the race got going, I could tell everybody was just being way too aggressive with their pushing and their moves. So I spent 90% of the race just riding in the back, letting everybody take each other out. So I was just back there trying to save my fast repair for when it really mattered there at the end if I needed it. And then just there towards the end, start making my way up through the field as best I could. I know I did get into it with Beverly one time. Went to drop in the line. And as soon as I dropped in, they had a checkup and it threw me back out. And as Beverly went by, his side draft just pulled me up into him, and we just got stuck together. And I couldn't get away from him, and I'm assuming he couldn't get away from me, and then it ended up hooking him. Luckily, I didn't get. I think I had like 30 something seconds of damage there, so it didn't affect me too bad, and was able to power through and come out with a victory towards the end.
Yeah, we saw the intensity that the side draft can bring with these ARCA cars. It was almost like you guys were just magnetically attracted, trying your best to separate. I also noticed and talked about it with Joe during the broadcast how the middle lane seemed to have this incredible energy, and the high side, of course, being a dominant high side there. But with fewer cars, that middle lane had some magic tonight. Did you feel the same way during the race tonight?
Oh, I think the middle lane was good, but I think when you got enough cars lined up on that high side up against the wall, you wasn't going to beat it. Just because they could come down and just give you a little bit of side draft if you're running that middle lane below them. If they got to your right rear, it was just like a parachute. As I got lucky there at the end of the race to come away with the win, even with Stevens pushing me because what's his name? Davis. He got to my right rear, but Lynott also got to Greer's right rear and pulled Greer away from Davis. So that split them up. Had Lynott not gotten to Chase's right rear, they probably would have been able to squeeze by us there at the very end, just because of the side draft. That's the only bad thing about these ARCA cars. Now the side draft it's it's way overpowered in these cars. The bottom line hardly is ever going to win.
Yeah, we saw that they've adjusted the contact model, so incident points were still registering 4Xs on some of the heavier bump drafts, but it wasn't like past races here where they were being sprinkled like candy, and we've had some drivers hit the incident point limits during some of these races. So that was a little bit of refreshing, but I can see how these cars do need a little bit more refinement. But overall, the racing was very electrifying tonight, and I'm going to turn this over to Joe because I know he wants to take a deeper dive with you, Justin. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Yes, sir.
So looking at the long-term effects of the way the race played out tonight, you won the race, and looking, the points leader Ken Redinger ended up in 12th. So you halved your point lead to him, his point lead pretty much here. You've cut it from 26 to 13 here tonight here at Talladega. So let's look past Homestead next week because that's probably going to be a pretty straightforward race, mile and a half, that kind of sort of thing. And the regular season finale is another one of these draft races, another one of these super speedways in Daytona. So what can you take away from tonight to play into that race at Daytona that's most likely going to be the decider for the regular season title?
I just try to work with the teammates as best you can to if you got somebody with you, whether you're pushing them or they're pushing you, that's going to be your best chance because you can't always count on anybody else out there because everybody's there for themselves. So if you're working with a teammate, more than likely they're going to push you to the win or you push them to the win. But now, as always with us down there, if I'm pushing somebody or they're pushing me and they have a chance to make a move to get the win without giving it away to a random person, we'll go that way. But we try to work together. That's the main thing. Work together, and I believe the high line is going to be key again.
So definitely looking at the high line once again for Daytona here. We got Homestead next week, like I was saying. I know you've shown so much speed on the mile and a halves, especially at high deck tracks such as Homestead. So I know you and Ken right now have a really good chance right now where you currently are in the points for it to be one of you to win the regular season title. Right now, Vulpes is 26 back, and then everybody else is over a race behind. So what do you got to do going into next week at Homestead to make it a reality at Daytona?
Get better at Homestead.
get. I like that.
Homestead is one of my worst tracks. I struggle on the long run there, no matter what I try. Now, I will say we had a championship race in a different league probably about a month or two ago now, and I ran pretty good, finished with a top five. Prior to that, that was probably the only top five I've ever had at Homestead. So we'll have to we'll have to see how it ends up going this week, especially with this new tire model that I'm hearing about with these cars. I haven't raced them on anything other than the super speedways yet. With the new tire models, that's supposedly the tires don't wear as much, but from what I've heard, it also makes these cars handle a little bit more like the next gen cars at those tracks. I'm not sure. I haven't tested them out yet.
So yeah, there's going to be a lot to look forward to then going into next week. Justin, before we let you go, who do you want to shout out on the broadcast here tonight after this amazing dub at Dega?
Oh, y'all for doing the broadcast. It's always fun to go back and watch them, see how everything went. Y'all do a great job at broadcasting. Of course, MRL for putting all these leagues on, almost every night of the week it seems. It's fun getting out there, and of course, teammates. Yeah, like I said, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have even been able to get that win tonight.
Back over to you, C.
Yeah, we appreciate you joining us and talking a little bit of racing, Justin, and we appreciate you shouting us out. We love doing these broadcasts. We love putting these races on for you and everybody else to be a part of. Uh, you know, uh, we had that interview with you a couple seasons ago when you just missed being a full-time driver and making the chase, and you told us that you were going to commit to running full-time, and here we are in season 3, and you're one of the top-level competitors. So we look forward to seeing what happens here to wrap up the regular season, and then it's really going to be exciting when the gloves are off and we start the chase. So any words or any thoughts in your mind about how you're going to approach the rest of the season and the chase to follow before we get you out of here?
I mean, not really. It's just going to have to be consistent. Just consistency is always key. Um, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. I don't think Kenneth won in the chase last season and was still able to. I might be thinking about a different league, but he won the championship in one of them and didn't win a race. He was just so consistent with those top few spots finishes. So consistency is always key, even over wins. I mean, wins are better, but consistency is always good. So just gonna have to get consistent and stay consistent.
So from trophy hunting to title contender, Justin, we appreciate you joining the booth tonight. Great job on the victory, and we look forward to talking more racing and seeing you on the track in the weeks to come.
Yes, sir. We'll see y'all Monday night.
Sounds good to me. We'll let the mayhem ensue. Justin Parham, your race winner from Talladega tonight on Friday Night Thunder. So, Joe, it's always awesome to have a guy like Parham join the booth and talk a little racing with you. He brings a lot of great insight, and his commentary and his response to Homestead next week, that pretty much sums it up. That's how many of us feel about Homestead. So we'll be looking forward to seeing him in action next week and the rest of the season. But right now, our finishing results, he takes home the dub, Joe. Zach Stevens pushed him to that victory, going to come and take second place tonight. So a great night for him. Led lap, showed a lot of speed tonight. Andrew Davis was in a prime position, was there at the end, going to take home third, round out that podium. And then we look further down. You see Brandon Guerin there, led laps tonight, lots of laps tonight. Was a very strong car out there as well. So a lot of these guys here at the top are going to definitely have our eyes on when we go to Daytona in 2 weeks. Chase Greer did a lot of the heavy lifting, led laps himself as well. That 40 car looked really poised tonight, too. He's going to be fifth. Beverly had some ups and downs tonight, but you could see the speed and potential out of that 77. Going to bring it home sixth. Robert Babcock made the appearance tonight. Looked really good in that 2 car. Had a little bit of trouble on and off, but able to recover to seventh. Kyle Lynott was blinking like we were at a rave, but somehow was able to stay connected to the session, bring it home eighth. Joe Volpes had some trouble tonight as well. That's definitely going to hit him a little bit in the points, but still able to recover to a 9th place finish. And Dalton Connor having that great campaign like we talked about, kept the car clean for the most part, going to round out the top 10 tonight.
Yeah, those are your top 10 finishers. A couple other guys. Then everybody else on back pretty much got caught up in something on the last lap. Brenner ends up in 11th, Redinger in 12th, Lewis in 13th. They got separated on the white flag lap at the start of it, and weren't able to recover. And then you had the guys that were either wrecked beforehand or wrecked on the last lap. Tommy Fox was able to limp that thing around to a 14th place finish with all that damage. 15th goes to Blake Tuggle. He got caught up with Bolander and Sully there coming to the tri-oval area wreck. So those three, 15th, 16th, and 17th, the last three on the lead lap. Then you have your lap down cars. Richard Swingle able to finish the race in 18th, 4 laps down. And then you have all the guys that couldn't pretty much complete the race. So you have Fritz in 19th, Hall in 20th, 6 down. Matt Novella got it back out there, even had to use that fast repair, finished the race with the internet troubles in 21st. Zach Panzarella not able to finish it after the big wreck with 5 to go. He ends up in 22nd. David Owens, we saw him out of the race pretty much at the 2/3 mark in 23rd. Zach Winstead, caution before him, that big wreck that we saw earlier as well that also involved Owens, the caution prior. He ends up 24th. Jordan Lane got caught up in a couple of the early wrecks, also had a blown engine around halfway. That's what ended his day, was the blown engine. He ends up 25th. Nate Lesko ended up upside down at one point in this race and then got his car destroyed in the second big one of the day. He ends up 26th. And Dylan Tibbetts was involved in the first 2 wrecks, ends up 27th. And that was your field from Talladega and where everybody ended up. And that brings us to the point C. And we got some guys that are locked in with 2 races left in the regular
Wiggly
season.
lines. So, yeah, look at this graphic we have here. Green means you are in. So these guys have clinched a chase position. So Redinger will be able to defend his crown. Justin Parham also clinched with that victory and strong performance tonight. And Joe Volpis also able, with his finish tonight and his amount of starts and points, be able to clinch a chase position. Looking down below that cut line, Buddy Sully and Jack Sanders are eliminated. So unfortunate to see that. You look further down on that graphic, basically right here, it looks like from 11th to 14th, you have 4 guys essentially going for 2 positions right there, because I think if the top 10 starts, so 4th through 10th there next week, they're going to be basically start the race and you're in, if I'm not mistaken, Joe.
Yeah, looking at the points, honestly, I don't think Gambrel and Novella actually need to start next week to find a way to get clinched, to be fair. Just because how many points they have and just how close on the threshold they are. Louis, by starting next week, should lock in. Dalton Connor, possibly by starting, will lock in. Jay Stinson, Fox, and Fritz need really good races next week to lock in, but they should be pretty safe just by starting. But you know, you have a 27 car field, right? You know, Fritz finishes 25th, Fox finishes 25th, and Beverly, Davis, and Garand all finish in the top 5, then they're right on top of Fritz pretty much after the next race. So, you never know. You're talking about how they could be locked in. They could just as easily be in a situation where they could fall out at Daytona.
Yeah, that cut line is going to be very, very exciting to watch. That's where a lot of the shuffling is going to take place the next 2 races. Nobody's really safe there. Nobody's really eliminated right there. Brenner's probably has maybe the most work cut out for him, but still very doable. Guerin showed great poise tonight, had a solid finish. So if he can have 2 good points outings, and then Davis and Beverly and potentially Fritz, stumble a little bit, it's going to be exciting. You have to tune in the next 2 weeks, because Homestead and then Daytona, it's going to be probably some of the most drama that we've had in this series in a little while, and it's going to be must-see broadcasting.
Yeah, speaking of must-see broadcasting, we got plenty of that going on during the week, don't we?
Absolutely do. It's the MRL portfolio of racing. Moonlight Racing League provides you many different disciplines on the asphalt oval side for the racing, and much of it is being broadcast to you either live or during a tape delay broadcast. It all starts Monday night with the Monday Night Mayhem Cup Series. That's over on the Vortex Racing Network, so make sure you go to VRN, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, do all that you need to do there. Zach Panzarella and Mean Gene Money bring you the action. Things are really heating up there in that regular season as they are getting set for their playoffs here in the coming weeks. We're going to take it to Michigan, so the Irish Hills of Michigan in that next-gen car. And Michigan always puts on great racing, especially in the Monday Mayhem Cup Series. So be sure to tune in. Practice 10 p.m. Eastern. Race starts just before 11 Eastern live. Moving on to Tuesday night, you have the MRL Early Bird Series. They're on a temporary hiatus, trying to figure out a time slot that can draw the most participation. They want to run the Gen 6 Cup car there, so please reach out and let's make that a reality. I'm sure we can get that going. I'm sure we can figure out something to do with broadcasting there, but this is a great template for racing, so let's see that come to fruition. Then we move on to Wednesday night. Wednesday night has the DDI Moonlight Truck Series. It's Hump Day. It's brought to you on the Vortex Racing Network. And they start practice at 8 p.m. Eastern. They race at 9 p.m. Eastern. They typically have, like I said, that tape delay broadcast going on around that time slot. So be sure to tune in. It's a killer truck series, big fields, high ultra competitive racing there. So check them out. And then the new offering to the series of races, we have the TNT, the Thursday Night Thriller. It used to be the Truck Series that merged on Wednesday night. Now the old Xfinity Series has moved to the Thursday night Thriller time slot. It's now the O'Reilly Series, and they get a little bit later start. Practice at 10 Eastern. Racing goes green at 11. No broadcast as of yet, but there have been discussions and something in the works for the future. So that series has healthy numbers. It's off to a great start. They were over at Echo Park. They're going to Richmond on Thursday. And then you've just witnessed it. It was the Friday Night Thunder Series, the ARCA series here on MRL Broadcasting. We do the rebroadcast of that Friday night race here on the Saturday nights around this time slot. So make sure that you're on this channel, you've liked it, you've subscribed to it, you're hitting that icon, you're getting the word out, you're telling your friends, and they're telling their friends, because we just witnessed one hell of a race, and Justin Parham brought home the goods tonight. So with that being said, Joe, takeaways from tonight.
Well, we got through the first super speedway race of the season without some of the absolute chaos that we've seen last season, and I think that is a testament to the car changing a lot. These guys really adapted pretty well after a few growing pains on the first few cautions, little over aggressiveness, things really calmed down, became really good, especially in the middle part of that race. And then, of course, typical stuff towards the end, a couple cautions. But yeah, I think guys figured out how this package really works here tonight, so hopefully they're able to carry that into Daytona in the regular season finale.
I definitely would agree with you there. Looking forward to seeing Daytona. However, next week we go to Homestead. Thoughts on Homestead next week as the regular season is winding down?
Homestead's an interesting track. We'll see how much, just like Justin was talking about, how much the new stuff really changes the car and how it drives around Homestead, right? We'll see how much tire wear matters or doesn't matter next week. We've seen how much it does or doesn't matter in the past. And right now we're looking to see what happens when we go back there. We haven't been there, I believe, since the first, another race that we haven't been there since the first season, right? So, it's been a hot minute since we've raced at that track. So a lot of updates have happened to the ARCA car since then. So, Matt Novella dominated the race the last time we were there. Is that going to happen again? It may or may not. Novella, of course, really good at Homestead, so we'll see if he's able to get it done. Looked like Parham did start that race. It didn't go well. Looked like he was out pretty early of that race. Ended up 22nd. Looking to see if Redinger was in that race, and I don't see him there. Vulpes was there. He started 8th, finished 10th, 2/3 of a lap down, so he wasn't much of a factor either. So, if Redinger has a good car, it might be a good place for him to blow that championship out of the water and have it secure going into Daytona.
Yeah, so very exciting to see one of the most unique of the 1.5 cookie cutter layouts. Definitely a driver style oval. A lot of skill and a lot of technical ability on display. We'll see if the low line or ripping the fence is the best method. But what I do know is tune in here next week to see the action. We'll bring it to you as we always do in thrilling fashion. We bring the thunder. For Smokin' Joe in the pits, I'm your host Snake, and remember, go fast or get past.